Hey you guys, happy Monday. I hope you guys had an amazing weekend. If you guys are watching the replay on Facebook, always let me know in the comments with hashtag replay. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, don't forget to click subscribe right here with this button and give me a thumbs up if you guys find any sort of value in this video. Now today I want to talk about LinkedIn stories. Brand new feature, not a lot of editing tricks or tips and tricks yet like we see over on Instagram or TikTok, but that's okay. That's not a reason to not use LinkedIn stories. So today I want to give you guys 6 ideas. I actually have them written down because I didn't want to forget any. 6 ideas about how I'm going to use LinkedIn stories and how you can use them as well to grow your business and personal brand through the platform. So another thing too is that I already apologize if I say Instagram stories instead of LinkedIn stories because I'm so used to saying Instagram stories. So if you hear me say Instagram story and you're like, wait, I thought we were talking about LinkedIn story, I'm talking about LinkedIn story. It's just one of those things that's so brand new that you're not used to saying yet. So I just wanted to put that disclaimer in the beginning. I've already been talking to colleagues and I'm like, yeah, on Instagram story. And they're like, wait, you mean LinkedIn? And I'm like, yeah, that's what I meant. So anyways, let's talk about LinkedIn. I almost did it there. Let's talk about LinkedIn stories. LinkedIn stories are a new functionality on LinkedIn. Like I said, they came out like 4 days ago. So if you're watching this video in 2023, 2025, and you're kind of like, this is an old video, you are correct. The whole purpose of this video is to just explain what the stories functionality is. And I want to give you guys 6 ideas that you can start using them to grow engagement and visibility for your business. That's the only point of this video. It's not how to make them cute, but I will give you a pro tip at the end of this video on how to make them better than just using the LinkedIn stories feature. So stay tuned till the end. I will give you my pro tip on how I edit my LinkedIn stories. So what is a LinkedIn story? What is a story functionality in general? Because not everyone has Instagram, right? So for a lot of us, this is the first time we're even seeing this function, right? So you're kind of like, okay, I see those circles on the top of my newsfeed. What do I do with it, right? So what a story is that it's a little picture or video that lasts for 24 hours, okay? And a lot of you guys could be thinking, it lasts 24 hours, why would I even post on it? But what you should be thinking is that it lasts 24 hours. I should utilize this by not caring as much about my content being perfect, rather to get the message across, okay? So LinkedIn stories are amazing for growing the know, like, and trust factor between you and your ideal client, or if you're growing a personal brand, you and your audience, because it's a way that they can see the behind the scenes. It's a way that they can get to know you better. It's a way for them to grow the know, okay? The like and the trust. So like I said, I'm going to give you guys 6 ideas that you can use Instagram stories. There I go again. LinkedIn stories for your personal brand or for your online business. So I have them written down because I didn't really want to forget anything. And another note that I wanted to make too with LinkedIn stories is that they're so simple to create, right? You see the bubbles on the top of the feed. All you have to do is press on the plus sign. You're going to see your profile picture with the circle on it. Press on the plus sign. There you go. You can create a LinkedIn story by taking a picture or by uploading it by pressing. You're going to see a little box that looks like a picture. You're going to press on that and then you can access your camera roll. So there's 2 ways that you can go about creating LinkedIn stories. You can do it by taking a picture right there and then, or you can upload it from your camera roll. 2 of the newest functionalities, like I said, we're only 4 days into LinkedIn stories. So this is just on the ideas and less on how to make them, picture perfect. The 2 functionalities we're given right now is that you can add text and you can tag people on LinkedIn, okay? It's very, very limited. It's not as, if you guys are, Instagram experts, it's not as advanced as Instagram. So just keep that in mind. You can add text or you can tag people. So let's get into it. I want to give you guys 6 ideas that you can use to grow your visibility and your engagement using LinkedIn stories. So you're kind of like, okay, let's talk about this first. How does a LinkedIn story different from a post? Because like I said, LinkedIn stories last 24 hours. So the whole point of that is that you have an advantage of it not lasting forever. So you can post a picture of yourself. You can post a picture of what you're working on. You can post you can do an employee interview. It doesn't really matter per se when it comes to perfection of the content, but more so that you're growing the know, like, and trust. So if you get anything from this video, I want you guys to focus on that LinkedIn stories. The purpose of them is to continue to grow the know, like, and trust. Another amazing thing about LinkedIn stories is that since they last 24 hours, and let's just say you don't have time to create a LinkedIn post, now at the very minimum, you can create a story. At the very least, you're like, Kylie, well, how many do I do a day if they last 24 hours, whatever? I always say for every platform, every social media platform, focus on one a day. At the very least, if you can't even make a post a day, you can make time for one LinkedIn story a day. So focus on that. But like I said, the whole point of stories is the behind the scenes, right? It's like, what can you show your audience that they're not already seeing from the content you're providing onto LinkedIn? That's what you're gonna share in a story. So I'm gonna give you guys 6 ideas that you can use to make or create your first LinkedIn story. And if it's not your first, you can, here's a couple more ideas. And like I always say in all of my YouTube videos, if you guys have any, additional ideas, maybe I missed something, maybe there's a new feature that you just saw because you're seeing this video 6 months later, let us know in the comments. That's the whole point of me creating videos. It's that, I want to update you guys. I want to tell you guys what's working now, the profitable strategies that work now to grow your business online. Now, a new feature on LinkedIn that's going to help grow your brand is LinkedIn stories. So, like I said, the first idea that I have for you guys is this, is that you want to show behind the scenes, okay? So what are some examples of behind the scenes? This is like when you're walking into work, you can take a video. If you want to show your audience your work desk, if you want to show your audience, your week, or maybe you have a call coming in, maybe you have a meeting, maybe you want to have an interview with somebody that you're meeting with, anything. That's the whole, and that's like the best thing about LinkedIn stories is that your audience is consistently craving background, intel, info from you, right? If you only show them surface level, if you only show them perfection, they're gonna have a hard time trusting you, especially in 2020, going into 2021, because that's what's lacking on social media is the authenticity part. Okay, so when you show the behind the scenes, you can show what you do throughout your day. Now, you don't have to be working in corporate, you don't have to be the VP of a bank in order to show behind the scenes. If you work from home, similar to myself, if you work out of a coffee shop, show that. If you're on business trips, show that. If you're going to a work conference, show that. This is the behind the scenes that I'm talking about, right? Your post brings in the valuable content. Your stories show the process of creating, the process of insert whatever here that you're working on, okay? So the first idea I have for you guys is behind the scenes. And this is so, if I want you guys to remember anything from this video that's so super crucial, is don't take them seriously. Don't take LinkedIn stories too seriously. And what I mean by that is this, is that yes, you want to keep it professional. Yes, you want to show up for your audience the way that you do with valuable content. But the way that you deliver the content, it doesn't have to be perfect because remember, they last 24 hours. So that means when you post the content, after you press submit, it's the ticking time bomb of 24 hours and then it disappears. Like I said, that's amazing because then you can focus more on what you're saying and less upon, okay, is my ponytail okay? Like, am I messing up in this video, which I probably already did. Even though this is going on YouTube, so people in 5 years are gonna see it. So that was probably a bad example, but you guys get what I'm saying. They last 24 hours, have fun with it and experiment. And like I had said earlier in this video, if you haven't created a post yet on LinkedIn, this is an amazing way to, break that barrier where it's like, okay, I'm not comfortable enough yet to make a post, but but I am comfortable enough to share my opinion on a LinkedIn story because I know they only last 24 hours. So keep that in mind. So the second idea that I have for you guys is employee interviews, okay? So what you're gonna do is this. And like I said, with all these ideas, you don't have to do this. Like every single idea I give you, you don't have to do every single one every single day. These are just ideas for your first LinkedIn story. So employee interviews, what you can do is you can do, if you have employee of the month, employee of the week, you can highlight somebody by just asking them one question. Be like, how do you feel being employee of the week? You know, what's one trait that you feel like earned you this award or this accolade or whatever? And if you don't have employees, another thing you can do, like if you work for yourself, don't have employees yet, you can do self-interviews. So I love doing this specifically for growing my personal brand, is if people ask me certain questions in the comment section of my post, or maybe they'll DM me by replying to my story and they'll be like, where's your shirt from? Or they'll be like, you know, what are your top 3 favorite books or business books? Or, you know, can you recommend a business book to me? And then if somebody asks you that question in the DM in response to one of your stories, then not only is it a great way to grow that know, like, and trust with that person watching your stories, but you can also recreate another story being like, hey, I just got this question, do it selfie style, and be like, just got this question and this is what I think, and I wanted to share it here because I know other people are probably thinking the same thing, which they 100% probably are. So the first one was behind the scenes. The second one was employee interviews. The third one is when you create a post on LinkedIn, you can share the post to your LinkedIn story. So it's not as, like I said, the functionality on LinkedIn is at a bare minimum. So it's not that crazy yet where you can just, you know, click the airplane on Instagram and share it to your story, right? What you're gonna do here is that if you have a picture or you can take a screenshot of your post, you can take that and then share it to your story, and then you can tell people that you just posted on LinkedIn. Why this is amazing is because as the platform matures, adding functionalities, I don't know if you guys like, you know, get this yet, but when they add functionalities, that means the algorithm is maturing. Okay, so if you haven't jumped on the train yet of starting to post on LinkedIn, now should be like more than ever, like the alarm bells ringing that you need to start, you know, developing your brand before it gets too late. So what you want to do is that you can take a screenshot of your post or share the picture onto your LinkedIn story and then simply type in, hey, I have a new post, like go check it out if you're not seeing it on your feed. Because remember, as the platform matures, as the algorithm matures, less people are going to organically see your content. And the reason for that being is because the platform wants to show the audience what they want to see, which is usually the post that they like the most. So using the LinkedIn Stories functionality allows the people that probably didn't see your posts to get a notification that, not a notification, but see that your post was posted because you reminded them that you did. So like I said, if you want to share your post into the LinkedIn story, that's a great thing to do. And another thing that you can do too is that, let's just say that you have a podcast and you just posted a new, you know, podcast episode, or let's just say you posted on Instagram, or you posted on Facebook, or you posted a new YouTube video, kind of similar to this. You guys, if you guys don't follow me on LinkedIn, go follow me on LinkedIn, linkedin.com/in/Kylie Francis. You guys can see how I even update my LinkedIn stories. But another thing you can do is if I were to post this video on YouTube, which is what I'm going to do, and then I go tell LinkedIn, I make a post about it on LinkedIn, then I can share it also on my story. It just like, I would look at it as like another open door to share what you're working on. Okay, so don't limit the LinkedIn stories just to your LinkedIn posts. You can link them to all of the other places you are on the internet, which I think is awesome. So like I said, the first idea was behind the scenes. The second idea was employee of the month interviews or employee interviews. It can be, you know, self interviews as well. If you get questions in the DMs, if you get questions on the comments of your content, you guys get my drift. The third one was sharing social media posts. You can share them from the feed to the story. Okay. And if you guys are loving this video so far, let me know by giving me a thumbs up. And like I said, if you guys have any additional ideas, don't be afraid to let us know in the comments, because I love even reading your guys' ideas, especially the ones that I missed. So the fourth idea that I have for you guys is the story swipe through tutorial. Now, how this works is let's just say you're a hairstylist on LinkedIn, or let's just say you own multifamily real estate, right? You can do this for any business. This is just what's coming off the top of my head. What you want to do is you want to create a story swipe through tutorial. So if you're, let's just say you're flipping a home, right? Like you go from an old home, remodeling, new, okay? So the story swipe through is the first picture or video. You start off by taking the video of the home, or if you already have videos, like I said, you can always go back into your camera roll and upload them onto your story. Beginning, middle, end. That's what I want you guys to think about with the story swipe throughs. Beginning is the home, like, you know, all teared up, whatever. The middle, you can show the process. Don't limit it to just one video either. You have it's not like 1, 2, 3. It can be like 1 through 10, 1 through 20. From what I know, like I said, it's brand new. I don't think there's a limit on stories. But I would also keep it mindful, because your audience probably isn't going to sit there and like tap, 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 tap. Okay. But since they're so new, they're more inclined to do that now. But in a year, they're probably not. So if you're doing a swipe through tutorial, I would limit it to 5 videos or pictures, which is plenty to tell a story, okay? So you can have the beginning, middle remodeling process, and then the end. And then if you're reselling it to somebody else, you can also have the happy customer. And then from there, you can go and have that interview with the customer, and there you're getting testimonials. And the best thing about that is that as you're doing these stories, you're realizing that you're like, it's always a win-win-win, because you have a happy customer. You're asking them what they thought about the product or the service, or, you know, the home that they just got. They're telling you, and then they're also saying how it's like working with you. And there you go. You have a video testimonial that you can put on your website. So the swipe through ones I really appreciate, because it also is a great way to highlight to somebody else that hasn't worked with me yet, or you yet, that what the process is like working with you. So like I said from the very beginning of the video, the best thing about LinkedIn stories is that it's such a great way to grow the know, like, and trust, because it's that aspect of short clips, short videos. If they miss your post in the feed, they get to see your story. Not only that, they're less, what's that word? Perfect, I guess, because they don't last, so it doesn't matter. So if you do the story swipe through, that's an amazing way to show somebody what it's like working with you, how your product or your service works. You know, you can do testimonials. You guys get my drift. So story swipe throughs are awesome. And like I said, it's not limited to a 1, 2, 3. You can do 1 through 10. Videos, pictures. It doesn't just have to be like how to. It can be that testimonial. It can be, you know, how to make blah, 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 insert whatever here. So number 5 is day in the life. I love doing these because these are the most simple stories, okay? When you do day in the life stories, it's literally, okay, where am I going for lunch? What am I eating? Why am I eating this? Do I follow a certain diet? Am I a dietitian? Like, can I give macro breakdowns of my diet, right? Or my meal? You know, going to work out. Oh, I do CrossFit. Why do you do CrossFit? Like, what's your favorite CrossFit movement? I want to see the shoes that you wear. You know, this is a great way. Day in the life is a great way. Like I said, grow the know, like, and trust. Do you have kids? Do you have a family? Do you live by the beach? Now, one thing I do want to highlight though with the day in the life photos is you don't just want to post a picture and like leave it a picture. So for example, I'm not calling anybody out, but I saw somebody that I'm connected with on LinkedIn and they posted a picture of them at a party, but there was no context to the party, right? Was it a business party? Are you throwing it? Is your boss throwing it? Why are you there? Because yes, although a picture does, you know, say 1,000 words or whatever, and this isn't talking about every picture, but the majority of your pictures need to have context, especially if you're only posting one picture a day. Because if you're just posting pictures just to post a picture, it's like, how is this helping me get to know you better? Does that make sense? So just keep that in mind. When you create pictures on LinkedIn stories and you're at a party, you're at a fair, let's just say you're out on the lake with your family, write that, right? Because you can't assume that everybody knows what you're doing, even though you are currently doing it. So adding a little bit of text or video with context is perfect, because remember, most people are coming, you know, from their life entering into yours. It's not like they were knowing what you were doing and then seeing your picture or your video. So keep that in mind when you start doing day in the life. If you add a little bit of context and make it related to your business, that's going to help you out in the end, okay? It might seem a little annoying as you're doing it now, but trust me, people are going to remember more about you if you add that little bit of context in there, okay? It just allows them to envision the scenario better in their mind. So day in the life is my favorite. It's probably the most simple way to upload your LinkedIn story because it's what you're doing, right? Like I can take a picture right now of me recording this video on my iPhone 11 and be like, hey, I'm doing a tutorial on, you know, LinkedIn stories, which I probably will do after this video. So day in the life, let's go through the top, or they're not even top 5. I don't know why I said top 5, but let's go to the first 5 and I'll give you the 6th one plus my pro tip and then I'll wrap this up. I want to make these, I'm trying to make my videos quicker, already at 21 minutes, not a good sign so far, but if you guys are loving this video, let me know by giving me a like. And if you don't like it, let me know what I can improve in the comments. So the last tip that I want to give you guys, and this is probably the most important, is selling. Sell, sell, sell. Okay, so now I did a whole video training on the 4 types of content. I'm going to link that up here on YouTube because this isn't me just saying, okay, use your LinkedIn stories to sell. You need to incorporate the 4 types of content: education, connection, inspiration, and sales content. That is for stagnant posts plus stories, right? So let's just say you have a new product coming out. Let's just say you have a new service coming out. Let's just say you already have a service, okay? You already have a product. People want to see that, okay? They never know what you have to offer unless you tell them. So the way that you sell through LinkedIn stories is that you do all of the above that I said. Show behind the scenes of you working on your product. Show the tutorial, you know, the 1 through 10, 1 through 5, 1 through 3, how this product works. The steps you're going through behind the scenes, 1 through 4, that you're doing to create this product, okay? Another thing that you want to do is that if people have questions, this goes back to the self-interviews where it's like people have questions about your product, you can do the selfie and you can explain it. Another thing too is if you're one of those people that doesn't want to show their face on video, you do not have to show your face on LinkedIn stories, okay? I don't want that to be a limiting belief or factor holding you back. Every time I say, you know, do a selfie video, turn it around and show the sunset. Like, just get the point across, and you can do that through text or video or audio, you speaking it, okay? If you're not comfortable showing your face, don't worry. You do not have to take selfies or selfie videos for your LinkedIn stories to be successful. You just have to get the value across. So the last 6th and final tip that I have for you guys is to sell. More specifically, incorporate the 4 types of content, then sell. Because if you're just selling your product on every single LinkedIn story, you're probably going to get disconnects, and you don't want that to happen, okay? So just make sure that you're incorporating all of these ideas, and then don't be afraid as well to incorporate the sale. Because if they don't know about your product, like I said, they're not going to know about it. So how are they going to buy it? So I'm going to go through the 6 ideas, and I'm going to give you my pro tip, and then I'm signing off. So like I said, behind the scenes, you want to show people what you do day to day. What are your employees doing day to day? Show them around your office. Show them how your office is set up. Show them, you know, your commute to work. If you take a lunch break every day, show them that. This is behind the scenes, similar to day in the life, okay? But this is just like, you know, what book are you reading? Like I have my book right here, this new book that I got. You know, show them your workplace, right? 2, employee interviews or question of the day self-interviews. Does not have to be selfie, okay? Just answer the question. You can do that from text, take a picture of your workplace, whatever. But if you do the employee interviews, that grows the know, like, and trust. The more that you can actually show yourself, even if you're self-conscious, that explodes the know, like, and trust, because at the end of the day, people need to see who they're working with anyway. So why not just get it out of the way, right? So 2, employee interviews. 3, share the post, whether that's a LinkedIn post or post like podcast posts, YouTube post, whatever. Share that post on your LinkedIn story. Tell them where to go with a call to action. So if the post is on LinkedIn, say, hey, I just created this post, you know, and you're posting this on your LinkedIn stories, and say, go check out my post on my LinkedIn feed. Then if you have a post on YouTube, post it, but make sure you provide your YouTube link, okay? It's not enough to just say, you know, new post, new video, and then just leave them hanging, because they're not going to know where to go. So if you have a new post, make sure you're sharing that link just by typing out in the text, okay? So the 4th one is the story swipe tutorial. This one's probably my favorite, because it's the best way to incorporate it all into, you know, a couple stories. So what you do is it's like beginning, middle, end. It can even be beginning, middle, end, okay? And like I said, if you start incorporating like a lot of these ideas together, you can add that employee or customer testimonial at the end of the story interview, or sorry, the story tutorial. And then you realize that you're making it fun, because it's like, oh, it's like a puzzle. Like, I can put these pieces all together and make it a continuous cycle. Another thing that I just literally thought of and wanted to really emphasize is repetition. So if you do it once, that's not enough. It takes somebody 12 times to see your message, to understand it, and then to even understand what you're talking about. So just know that when you do stories, let's just say you did a lunch picture, or you interviewed this employee, but you only have 2 employees. So you're like, oh, I can't do this every day. You can do it once a week. Ask them different questions. I'm sure you have multiple products, multiple places, what you do throughout the day. Your life isn't as boring as you think that it is, okay? Don't be afraid to share. Don't be afraid to repeat yourself, okay? Another thing you can do too is that you can start asking for feedback in your LinkedIn posts about your stories, and then your audience is going to tell you what they love seeing, what they want to see more or less of. So like I said, after you do stories for a while, you can ask your audience, they will tell you back, and then you can go from there. So story swipe through, 5 day in the life, similar to behind the scenes. This is more personal, but like I said, if you're at a barbecue, if you're going on vacation, provide context, okay? If you fail to provide context, it's going to be weird. Okay, I gave you that example earlier. Someone was at a fair, and it was just a picture of the fair, and I was like, is this business related? Is this personal? Why are you there? Where is this located? I was just like unsure. I was kind of confused. But just know that if you're feeling like that about other people's stories, they'll feel like that about yours. So what did that tell me? That was like, okay, if I provide a personal picture, I need to provide context. Because if I don't provide context, they're not going to know what I'm doing, okay? So 5 was day in the life, and 6 was selling, but just make sure you're incorporating the 4 types of content: education, connection, inspiration, and sales content. If you didn't see my YouTube training on that, I did link that in this video earlier, so definitely check that out. And like I said, sell your products and services. Talk about your products and services. You can do the story swipe through tutorial. You can do, customer testimonials. You can do so many amazing things. And all it takes is to just post it. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just need to provide context, provide that value so your audience knows what you're talking about, okay? Because remember, you're not the only person doing stories. There's gonna be a lot of bubbles up top. Okay, and if you don't do these all at once, if you don't upload all the videos at once, then they're gonna tap from your story and it rolls right into the next one. So it can be me, roll into Gary Vaynerchuk, roll into Sarah Blakely, like it can keep going down the line, okay? So yeah, just keep that in mind, that when you do upload your stories, if it is a story swipe through, do it all at once. Don't, do one and then one a couple hours later. If you do it that way, like I said, provide context where it's like, stay tuned for the next story. just so your audience knows and they can like keep that mindset while following along your day or your journey. You guys get my drift. So if you guys love this video so far, let me know with a like on YouTube, and I'm going to leave you guys with my pro tip and then sign off. My pro tip for LinkedIn stories is to create your stories on Instagram. Okay, so what I do is I create all of my stories on Instagram. I will save the image or the video, and then I will re-upload over onto LinkedIn. Why do I do this? Because I'm already creating this content on Instagram anyway. I put the same content on Instagram that I do on LinkedIn. So another thing too is that Instagram is very mature with their story algorithm. Not only that, with the features, they have the filters, they have, you know, they have anything crazy like edits. If you're really into the edits, if you're really into like making it look and like pop out and cool, go make it on Instagram, save it, go upload on LinkedIn. This is a competitive advantage because everybody's LinkedIn stories, a lot of people aren't going to do this. They're just not going to go out of their way to do it. But what's the advantage that you have is that your story is going to look better than everybody else's, okay? At least for the first week of LinkedIn stories, because like I said, this is the first week, you know, so a lot's probably going to change in a month or two. I'm probably going to redo this video in a month. So like I said, my pro tip for right now is go create stories on Instagram. You don't have to do this, by the way. I do it because I love like photography, editing. You can see that on my Instagram at Kylie_Francis. And yeah, I just love doing all that. So that's something I enjoy. You definitely don't have to do that, but that's my pro tip if you're not like really like loving the text options or, you know, the filter, there's no filter for functionality on LinkedIn stories yet. So that's just an easy way that you can make them look cool. And if you're already doing that on Instagram, then you can upload there for your business. So you're just repurposing content. So you're actually saving time, in my opinion, doing that. So yeah, that's all I have to say for this video. If you guys love this video, let me know in the comments. Also, let me know if you guys love the quality of this video better than my other videos, because this one I'm actually not recording on Facebook. I'm doing it as a video because I got other comments that my video quality was horrible, but that was because I always did it on a Facebook Live. This is not a Facebook Live. This is just me, you know, doing it for the first time by myself, which, not gonna lie, I was kind of nervous about it. So if I came across that way, that's why my first time just doing, you know, a straight up video. But I wanted to test the quality because as my channel is growing, I want to make sure that, you know, the quality isn't interfering with my channel growth. So let me know what you guys think about the quality and if it even made a difference, if it didn't. I'd love to hear your feedback. So, and like I said, throughout this whole video, if you guys have more ideas, let us know. This was just six that came off the top of my head. I had to write them down because I didn't want to forget them. But if you guys have more, let me know. If you guys use these tips and you love them, come back and let me know. I love hearing when you guys implement what I say and it works for you and your business to grow your business online. So that's all that I have to say. If you guys have any more questions, let me know in the comments because your question could quite literally and anonymously be the topic of my next live stream. So I hope you guys have an amazing week and I will see you guys on the next live stream. Bye guys.